Emotional cheating happens when you start sharing things with somebody else that should be reserved for your partner. Your fears, your frustrations, your secrets, your inside jokes. When the relationship with that person becomes your escape, the place you go to for validation, attention, or comfort that's missing at home, that's emotional infidelity. Welcome to Mr. Health, Mind, Body, and the Bedroom, the podcast where we cut through the silence and get real about men's health. I'm Dr. Mike, certified sex therapist and men's mental health expert. Around here, we're not sugarcoating the tough stuff. From performance anxiety to porn use to stress, depression, and intimacy, this is the place for honest conversations, practical tools, and strategies that actually work. If you ever thought, why am I the only guy dealing with this? You're not. You're in the right place. Let's dive in. Let's get real. You're in a relationship, you've been texting someone else. Maybe it started innocently, a coworker, an old friend, someone you've clicked with online. You tell yourself, it's just texting, it's harmless. It's not like we're sleeping together. But here's the question. If your partner saw those messages, how would they feel? Would they see them as innocent or as betrayal? Because emotional cheating might not involve sex, but it absolutely involves secrecy, emotional intimacy, and energy that belongs inside your relationship. So yeah, today we're asking the uncomfortable question. Is texting someone really cheating? And the answer might surprise you. Let's start with what emotional cheating actually is. This is the definition. If I took a group of guys and put them in a room, they would all have a different kind of answer to this, but I'm going to break it down of how I talk about it. It's not about the platform. It's not about text, DMs, or late night conversations. It's about the energy. Emotional cheating happens when you start sharing things with somebody else that should be reserved for your partner. Your fears, your frustrations, your secrets, your inside jokes. When the relationship with that person becomes your escape, the place you go to for validation, attention, or comfort that's missing at home, that's emotional infidelity. And here's the kicker. Emotional affairs often feel more powerful than physical ones because they hit the connection and intimacy centers of your brain. You're bonding with someone who isn't your partner. And to be honest, it's a big deal. I worked with a guy, we're going to call him Mark, married for 8 years, no big fights, but the spark was gone. He was texting a coworker, someone who just got him. At first it was harmless. It turned into daily messages, then emotional confessions, and then secret lunches. Notice the pattern of escalation. When his wife found the text, she told him, I could have handled it if you just had sex. What hurts is that you gave her the part of you that used to be mine. That hit him like a brick because she was right. He didn't cheat physically, but emotionally, he was all in. So why does this happen? Why do smart, loyal men find themselves in the gray zone? Number one, disconnection at home. You stop communicating, the relationship feels stale, and someone else fills in the gaps. You're looking for validation. The dopamine hit when someone new finds you funny, smart, attractive. It's addictive. Avoidance. It's easier to build connection elsewhere than face conflict and vulnerability with your partner. That's the honest truth. Denial. You tell yourself, we're just friends, but you're hiding it. It's not a friendship. It is a secret. Men often fall into emotional cheating because it feels safer than physical cheating. But the damage, it's about the same. Emotional affairs can wreck a relationship because they create triangles. There's now you, your partner, and this third person who's taking energy and intimacy and attention that belong in your relationship. It kills trust, it erodes safety, it makes your partner feel like they're competing with a ghost, a connection that they can't see but feel. The worst part, emotional cheating makes you start comparing. You tell yourself, this person gets me more. But that's the fantasy. They get the best version of you, not the tired, stressed, real life version your partner deals with every day. So before you tell yourself it's harmless, I want you to ask, am I feeding something that's starving in my relationship? And why am I avoiding this? Now, here's a quick gut check. If you're doing any of these things, it's not innocent anymore. I'm using this podcast to call you out. You hide or delete messages. You downplay how often you talk to this person. You think this person more than your partner. You share things with them you wouldn't tell your partner. You get defensive when somebody brings them up. If you're nodding along, you already know you crossed the line. Okay, so what if you're listening and you're thinking, shit, that's me? First, I don't want you to spiral into shame. I want you to own it. This is your chance to realign. Here's what you need to do. Number one, you need to end the secrecy. You can't rebuild trust in the shadows. Cut off or redefine the relationship honestly. Talk to your partner. I know it's going to be uncomfortable, but honesty now is better than discovery later. I can't tell you the number of times guys come into my office and they say, man, I wish I would have just been honest. I could have cut half of this shit out. I want you to address the root. Emotional affairs are symptoms. Loneliness, lack of connection, avoidance. You need to deal with what is missing in your relationship. You need to take ownership for that, and you have the control and autonomy to do something about that today. The last one is I want you to rebuild intimacy intentionally. Start sharing again with your partner the way you did when you first met. I want you to talk, text, flirt, be curious. You don't heal from an emotional affair with promises. You heal with transparency, consistency, and empathy. This week, here's your challenge. Ask yourself, who gets the best of me right now? My partner or somebody else? If the answer isn't your partner, it's time to recalibrate. Energy follows attention. And wherever you give your emotional energy, that's where intimacy is going to grow. Emotional cheating doesn't start in the bedroom. It starts with your phone. It starts with some electronic device. It starts with one text that crosses a line, one secret that feels exciting, one escape from what's uncomfortable at home. But you can stop the spiral before it destroys trust. Real intimacy takes courage. It's choosing to work through the tension instead of running away from it. If this episode hit home for you, I want you to share it with someone who needs to hear this. Follow the podcast, leave a review, check out MrHealth.com for my blogs and resources and tools and courses that help men build stronger, more connected relationships in and out of the bedroom. I'm Dr. Mike, and this is Mr. Health, Mind, Body, in the Bedroom. You're not broken. You're not alone. You're just ready for the truth. You've been listening to Mr. Health, Mind, Body, in the Bedroom. If today's episode hit home, make sure you subscribe so you never miss an honest conversation about men's health. Share this with a friend who needs it, because the chances are he's struggling in silence. And if you're ready to go deeper, head over to MrHealth.com for courses, tools, and resources to help you build confidence in your mind, your body, and your bedroom. I'm Dr. Mike, reminding you, you're not broken, you're not alone, you're just ready for the truth.